What's up, everybody? Hanging out in the chat. It's good to see you guys. The chat is active and ready to go. Man, what some we've had some crazy news breaking even within the past hour. We're going to get straight into it because, man, DC is a whole new landscape right now. We are literally watching the birth of a new cinematic universe right now. And man, I'm excited because we got a great panel tonight. What's up? This is Carl's Collects Comics, and I am here for the giveaway show. We're excited to see you guys. Hey, it's good to have you with us tonight. I'm glad that we're going to get a chance to hang out. Somebody mentioned Spawn Batman in the comments. That ties in directly into our giveaway because that is a really cool book. This is a beautiful one. My personal favorite on this cover. Paul's going to show that to us in just a little bit. Tonight, it was my fault for being late because once a month we do have a big event, and so it takes me a little bit longer to get home, set up, and ready to roll. But we are here. We are excited. We've got some really cool news that we're going to go over, and we're going to be celebrating our 50th episode. Can you believe it? It has been 50 episodes. That's almost a full year of episodes of Paul and his shenanigans. Can you believe that he made it this far and he hasn't been fired yet? Man, wow, it's amazing. So hey, we're excited that you're here right now. Just a couple of quick things that I want to remind you about. We do have multiple shows here on the channel. Monday Halls Live goes live at 10 p.m. Central on Mondays. That's a web series where we go over the past week to week and a half's worth of comic book pickups, as well as all kinds of other cool geekdom and items that we've picked up. It's also become the home for MT's Hall of Shipping Shame. You get to come and hear the horror stories off of eBay of all the books that MT receives that are completely damaged because of poor packing. But MT is so gracious, and he just can't let go of eBay, so he keeps ordering books from there to get them to have his heart crushed by the damaged books. The giveaway show, that's what you're watching right now. That's Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Central. And this is our time when we go over the past week or so of news, and it looks like every week it's been a new piece of news every day in some cases, going on with everything going on over at DC and then with Marvel and just big adjustments and such. So looking forward to getting to talk about that tonight. And then Friday nights, we have different I have different videos that go live on the channel. These are going to be more researched, more heavily scripted videos, things like the comic book or the comic collecting for beginners video series, which is live on the channel. It's a free 4-part video series for brand new comic collectors and intermediate comic collectors, giving them a lot of hints and tips about comic collecting. Also, just brand new from last Friday or from last weekend was the top 12 DC Comics characters that you should be watching right now. These are 12 comic book characters that I picked out. Some I have an affinity for, some I have not. These are not just my favorites. These are ones that I look at and I see a really bright future for with James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over the newly formed DC Studios. So make sure you check that video out. It is a longer video, but it has way more comic books featured in it and more characters featured in it than any video I've done to date. I'm very excited about it, very proud of it. It's already several hundred views into it. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. Hey, it is great to see you. And here we are. Here's the full panel that we got tonight. I'm going to go through this real quick. Paul, wake up. Paul, you there? Wake up. All right, folks, he's asleep at the wheel. That's it right there. This was his chance to say hello to everybody, but he's not there. So we're going to move right on to Adam from Nerdmazing. Adam, what's up, buddy? Oh, wait, let me unmute you. Sorry. You're still muted. Oh. There you are.
It's great to be here again, and now that you can hear me. So I'm really glad to be part of this 50th episode.
Nice. Well, we're excited to have you. We're going to show you a little bit more about Nerdmazing, his awesome channel. But make sure if you actually, Adam, why don't you go ahead and think? Actually, no, I'll drop a link to it. But it's just Nerdmazing over on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it. He's got some of the best produced reviews for geek culture items that I've ever seen. So I'm very excited about his channel. It's growing like amazing. I think he went from like 300 to 600 subscribers in just a couple of months, and he just continues to grow. So y'all make sure and go check him out. We'll drop a card on here a little bit later, but let's go to Paul because he's back.
I am back. I wasn't able to show up last Wednesday, but your boy's back again. I appreciate everybody that hit me up and was worried about me getting well, all the well wishes that I gotten. And it wasn't my fault tonight, even though I've been blamed for being late. It is Carlos's fault. But I have a few spawns. This is the Ice Cream Man one.
What?
Yeah, he did one with Ice Cream Man. See right now.
I didn't know. I never saw that one.
And then he'll like this one.
What?
Yup, Spawn with Noctera.
Where did that come from?
That came out this week.
I didn't see any.
And this is the glow in the dark Capullo McFarlane. And I had the Brett Booth.
Wow.
But I will be giving away tonight this one. This is the Jim Lee. He did Batman. Everybody knows that, but he did a Spawn. So I'll be giving this one away for tonight for the 50th giveaway.
Nice. That was my choice. That was my personal choice when I picked one up.
I figured you like this one since you like Noctera.
Yeah, I need to go find one of those. I didn't.
Tony S. Daniel did it.
One.
Tony S. Daniel did that with Spawn.
What? Who?
We'll have to come on.
No. I'm sorry, Mrs. Collects just came up here
Ooh.
for the first time. She's about to make it. Here, come on.
Yeah, there you go. Let them know the person behind the camera.
Who is the person behind
who
the
motivates him.
channel?
She is a sweet lady. I've met her many times. She is my number one supporter.
I was just concerned that
she is my number one supporter. Where's she at?
No, you can't listen. You can't believe a word that Paul says.
Yeah, she's my number one supporter. Where's she at?
She's here. She won't come on camera.
There's the brains behind the Carlos Collects channel. Where's she at?
El Green Machine says the power behind the throne.
Yo, there she is. Look. Go ahead and show.
She was watching it downstairs and she came up right now. She was worried.
She is a sweet lady. She is a sweet lady. So I finally got these back from Strictly. I'm getting Andrew Wildman to sign these.
Hey, this isn't Monday Hauls, dude. Come on, we got to show it.
You show
look, he's just gonna show off.
Andrew Wildman, he's gonna sign this one. Finally got this back from Strictly, a nice Mark Jewelers Star Wars.
What are you doing?
I'm waiting on you to.
We're ready. I'm going to Mr. Collector now.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Collector, what's up?
First, I want to say congratulations on the huge milestone. 50 is a really huge number to go. And I
appreciate that, man. And it's hard to be a professional guy on here, and it's hard to get your ideas out there. But when you have a nice person like Miss Collects out there supporting you, you know it's anything's possible.
That's why I know Paul's feeling better.
But, the mouth is going.
But no, so everyone smash that like button and leave a comment for Carlos because. You know, it's a huge milestone, and all it's going to do is just keep getting more and more. So, thank you, Carlos, for having me on tonight.
I mean, you could have fixed your hair a little bit, man. You got it wild going everywhere, man.
His hair is awesome.
Don't be jealous.
Look at that glorious mane. Yeah. All right, so we're jumping back into the view. All right, guys. So, hey, let's go to the chat right now, and let's say hi to the chat. We're all on here. Let's see who all we got in the chat. Looks like we got a decent amount of people here. So, Andrew Kai, good to see you. He was first in line. Then I see me saying waiting on professional okay, I wonder who was commenting as me.
Yeah,
El Green, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Green Machine.
I'm here, everybody. Hello. Celebrate. Congratulations on the 50th show celebration. Hey, there's Nerd Amazing asking about the cake. Yes, I promised cake and possibly punch. Card Shop Reality, thank you. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. Yes, El Green Machine, we are going to be talking about the Henry Cavill post. For those who haven't seen, who don't follow me on Instagram and haven't seen, over there I reposted about 40 minutes after he posted it, the graphic from Henry Cavill with his letter saying that he was officially no longer Superman for the DC Cinematic Universe, or for the DC Studios universe. Andrew Kai, Man of Steel was what we dreamed of as well. Me too. Now you can go to Marvel and take over there. Hey, he's going to be picked up. He's going to get picked up because his schedule's clear. He's off of The Witcher. He's out as Superman. Man, his dance card is open. So, and he's too good to not get picked up. Kip D Cage Fire. That's right. Yeah, we run a few minutes late. It's Paul's fault. Hello. Yeah. One thing about them running late, I had time to eat my dinner. There you go. Anybody pick up Spawn Batman? You saw? Yes, I did as well. The Jim Lee cover was my personal choice. All right, when I saw Nerd Mazing on the thumbnail, I thought, oh wow, they got John Landis on the show.
John Landis. Oh, is he not Dr. Doom?
All right, yep. I got the A and B cover myself. Those are awesome looking. Yep. Sorry, here I am. Apparently, I am again. Sorry, waited on Professional Comics.
There I getting blamed again.
Me. Funny you should mention Spawn Batman, Kip D. All right. Remember to go to live chat, people. I picked up the acetate cover. What's up, Spider Flint? Good to see you, sir.
Spider Flint.
Hashtag 50 show celebration. There you go. Fort Pete Saki, what's up? Good thing Cross is here to run the show, or it wouldn't have started for another 10.
Oh, wow.
True.
Fort Pete Saki, wow.
It might have been Ice Cream. Happy Fitty. There we go. Oh, look, there she is. Mrs. Collects. Way to go, Paul.
Thank you. She's always been a good supporter.
Right. Escargot 80. What up, bros? Good to see you. Good to see you as well, sir. Tricky Trapster. Hey, peoples. Fired. Yep. Paul's a bum. Oh, here's a here's a compliment for Nerd Mazing.
Nerd Mazing has a great channel.
Thanks, El Green.
Wipe the chloroform residue off your camera, Paul. What in the world? What have you been getting into, Paul? All right, sweet book. Thanks. Let's see. Oh, the power behind the throne. Yep, that's what she is.
Yep,
the woman who applies the preparation. How did you know about that?
Man, Tricky Trapster.
Hey, there he is. Everybody's favorite disappearing, reappearing giveaway winner. All right, if you missed it, I think a week or two ago, JT popped in, won the giveaway, and then he left. The entire chat was up in arms saying that I needed to take his giveaway away from him. Yep. All right, nice. Just bought my Natira spawn off eBay. Good job. I have my own eBay horror story. Fortunately, I'm not mentioning his username because he did apply a refund, but it wasn't the best shot. It wasn't the best shipping job. No problem. Looking forward to joining y'all in 2023. I love that idea.
Card shop.
Is he not Dr. Doom? I want to see. Okay, JT says I'm staying. JT, we're just giving you a hard time. We're only doing that because Paul gave us permission. He said that it was okay to give you a hard time about it.
Yeah, I'm right.
All right, guys. So everybody in the chat, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, Paul, show off that giveaway book one more time so they know we're going to be giving that away in about 30 minutes time at the 45-minute runtime mark.
So everybody knows they got different covers, but this is Carlos's pick. But I also like it. I have another one, but Jim Lee doing Batman, but he also did Spawn. So
here's the deal. I only picked up one copy of Spawn versus Batman, and that was the one I picked. It's my favorite. I'm a huge Jim Lee fan, so yeah. So okay, Mr. Collector, big fan, love what you're doing. Okay, everyone can leave now. All right, folks. Hey, so welcome. So, okay, as we have talked about, obviously there's a lot going on in the DC universe. So most of what we're going to be talking about tonight is in relation to DC because we have seen some major changes going on. And we did have this. Let's see. Let me pull up my outline real quick.
Green Machine says, "Be back in 30."
Right, exactly. So people are setting egg timers right now, so they're like, okay, we can come back for the giveaway, and they're going to second screen, I don't know, some other channel or something. All right, hey, I used to have that book.
Third print.
I don't remember who I sold it to. But...
McFarlane, Ryan Otley, Kirkman, and Capullo. Right.
So here's the deal. Obviously, okay, so we had a couple of different items that we were going to do, but obviously the Henry Cavill thing is going to slot in as the second. And all of it ties together because we have seen over the past 2 weeks, I haven't really ever seen anything like this. And I can't imagine the pressure being James Gunn and Peter Safran rebuilding a universe with the entire. There is a severance package. I have heard numbers, so we can get into that. So for headline number 4, if we want to.
Oh, JT's upset. He said, "What about the Miles Morales trailer?"
Yep. All right, so folks, just get ready for it. Buckle up. Paul's going to try to interrupt the speaker every 15 or 20 seconds.
not nerd amazing.
Kind of keep it lively and interesting. All right, so DC Comics and James Gunn have been battling it out right now with the Hollywood trades. They're pretty much almost on a daily basis. Different stories are going live right now, talking about things that are happening, or they're saying that certain things are happening, but then James Gunn is having to come out on Twitter and say, "No, that's not true. That's not true. That's incorrect. That's not true." And so we're seeing this weird kind of thing happening, and it's been happening for the past few weeks. And I think it really started when the rumblings, when James Gunn got into the office over there. So I just wanted to get the panel's thoughts. First, what are some of the stories the specific stories that you guys have seen? And we won't get into the Patty Jenkins letter yet or the Henry Cavill letter yet. We'll save those for later. But have you guys seen any of the reporting that's gone on? If not, I can pull some of them up here in just a minute. But I wanted to open it up for initial thoughts. So anybody?
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah.
So Variety put that, James Gunn, or they wanted to put Matt Reeves' Batman film into the DC universe and, put other characters with it. But James Gunn came out and specifically said, "No, we're not doing that. That's that own universe." Same thing with the Joker film. So I think it's more of I haven't seen anything like this in a while where, new people get into, like, James Gunn's now in DC now, and it makes it hard because there's a lot of he said, she said, and the sources you think you can rely on, like Variety was the one that posted it. Usually they're pretty accurate on it, so it just makes it hard now to believe who's telling the truth and who's not.
Yeah, I mean, I've like I said, I've never seen anything like this. Because usually it's kind of like a pretty peaceful ecosystem, and they all kind of scratch each other's backs, and But I've never seen something like this where reporters are throwing out all kinds of stuff that is categorically false, that is not true.
Yeah.
I pulled this up for you, Mr. Collector, because this is the headline about James Gunn shooting down the Batman rumor.
Yeah, so and another thing is there's a lot of pointing fingers. Same thing with Shazam. They're saying that they didn't make a profit on Black Adam. They're saying that they didn't make a profit on it, and that The Rock and his team printed out this whole form showing they made so many millions and that they didn't make a profit. But supposedly they're saying that that's not true, that's not actually from the studio. So, So it's just a lot of pointing fingers, and I know we're not getting into the Patty Jenkins yet, but now actors, directors, James Gunn, now they're all having to speak out to clear all these rumors up. and it just sucks because it doesn't just affect people reading it. It also dictates the market if you think about it, because people that say we're not gonna make this person's gonna be in the next film, so they automatically start picking up books. They automatically start picking up side characters, and it does dictate the market when people put something like that out. So it's an overall kind of circus right now if you think about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, circus is exactly that's exactly the right word, because what just happened here? What is all this? I was pulling up the Patty Jenkins letter to have that ready, and then ads.
What do you say, Mr. Nerdmazing? I'd like to see what he has to say.
Well, I might not know all the details, but I have to say that this is a great marketing ploy, because I mean, whether it's good press, bad press, this whole deal is just out there. People are a buzz. It's like this kind of like a new DC universe that might be like a reboot, reset with everything getting mixed up. I mean, we're talking about it. Everyone else is talking about it. It's being picked up everywhere, especially the Henry Cavill stuff. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like back right before Black Adam happened, like everyone was kind of like asking Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, like, aren't you going to be in a DC movie? Aren't you going to play like Black Adam? And he denied, I think, for the longest time. Probably because he wasn't allowed to say anything. But then if you find out later on, there he is, Black Adam. So, I mean, it's hard to say what's true, what's false, but man, is it just creating a great media frenzy just to get everyone interested in this.
Yeah, I what's up, Real James Willie?
I agree with you, Nerdmazing. That made more sense than what Mr. Collector was saying, because I was totally confused about what he was talking about. But you have clarified everything. I appreciate that.
I mean, until you see, like, the next film or what James Gunn has ready for his DC universe, whatever he's going to create or won't create. I mean, this is all speculation, but man, it's a great media hype. Yeah,
that's actually a really good point. I mean, that you bring up, because it is. I mean, they always say there's no such thing as bad press. I do think some of this is damaging. I think another YouTuber that I watch, much bigger channel, John Campea, said that in some ways the whole budget argument that Dwayne Johnson and his team are having with Warner Brothers actually could be damaging the Black Adam brand, and it might actually take it so far that they decide, we don't want to revisit this, because it just I don't know that that's the case, because I think a star as big as Dwayne Johnson can bounce back, because he is he is the number one action star, I think probably after Tom Cruise, but I don't know dollar for dollar, but I mean, he's a huge action star. I think, one of the things, though, it could affect like his asking price on films. Like if they say, hey, we, used to get $25 million a picture. How about you just take 20, because Black Adam didn't do so well. And I think the numbers have been going back and forth. So it's interesting to see them throwing around numbers, and I know studios notoriously do not like their actual numbers shared.
No.
It's interesting to see a star that big at odds with a studio, and they're both saying different stories. So it's kind of like somebody's not quite you just don't know. You don't know. It's kind of like you said. I mean, who knows? The truth is somewhere in the middle of it all, I'm sure. But yeah, it's wild to me that we're seeing this play out. So okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the Henry Cavill one, because I know that's fresh on everybody's mind. If you haven't read it yet, I'm going to go ahead and try to pull it up here. But Henry Cavill, probably about 8 o'clock. It's probably about 8:30 Central Time. Released a letter on his Instagram page, sharing that he had just met with James Gunn and Peter Safran. And okay, it's pulling up here, but I do have it here. He says, I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October, prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. Then he goes on to thank those who have been fans and stuck by him and everything. So, wow. That is, Marshall Warpath. That's the giveaway. He popped in. He's like, hey, look, can you tell me the giveaway? Because, I might have other shows to watch. I'll stick around. So that's the Henry Cavill post that he made as of, let me see. Yeah, it's just been 2 hours. So it was about 8:45 p.m. Central Time that he posted that. So it's, I think he is a class act comic book report. And then Tony Stank says, bring him to the
MCU. That's Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Ice Cream says he didn't deny coming back as Bizarro. That's true.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Well, I wanted to just say about the Henry Cavill thing. I think him coming back was because of The Rock, because The Rock really wanted him to come back. Yeah. And wasn't he in the teaser at the end of Black Adam?
Yeah, he was in the stinger. He pops
in. And then they announced that he was coming back. But I think James Gunn doesn't have too much to think about. The Joker movie was successful. The Matt Reeves stuff, I guess certain people like it, certain people don't. Of him, the younger Batman, because people have told me, well, why does he make these mistakes? But he's growing to being Batman. But I just think, like Nerd Mason was saying, I mean, I think he's just playing with us a little bit. But I think he's going to go different routes for different. Yeah, I've heard about Kingdom Come. I've heard about going a different route with Wonder Woman. I mean, I really don't know where he's going to go, but I agree with a couple of people. If y'all sign me on to DC, I'll get him right back and going.
Yeah, he didn't leave the Witcher series for nothing.
Right.
So here's something going on.
And The Rock, I agree with what Carlos was saying about The Rock. I mean, he's just a big-time A-list actor. I mean, he can push his weight around literally, but I think he loves the character, Black Adam character, and wants to continue. But I mean, I don't know. I guess he doesn't like reports of saying he's losing money and he's showing that he's actually making money. So I don't know. Like you were saying, I think that's kind of a thin line to walk across, because you're just like, you don't want the studio to be like, we don't want to go through that again with this guy, even though he's the biggest action star on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's interesting that these guys are like kind of throwing their weight around right now, and it's there's a little bit of that. I think The Rock is trying that, but I don't know that it's necessarily working out for him, because it's not.
Yeah, you're right, Green Machine. I mean, but we all know that Blue Beetle is not going to do as well, because people are not interested in what the Hispanic household is going to be like. If you ever seen that firsthand, because I've seen it, beer cans all in the garage, and
what in the world?
And people drinking till the next day, and then you got a cereal like Blue Beetle is not doing the. It's going to be an interesting movie, though.
All right. Well, everybody, you can never
go over
say
here
that
right now.
Paul doesn't have something to say.
If Paul was in DC films, we'll be waiting 10 years for a movie. So.
Hey, man, I will get DC back on track.
I like that The Rock is passionate about the character. I think they ran into a couple of problems, including scripting for that character, and I think the problem is, these studios are still a business, The worst thing about film is that it's an art. The worst thing about the art of film is that it's a business, and the worst thing about the business of film is that it's an art. You can only support the art, like the creative artistic side of it, so far before studio heads are going to start saying, look, it needs to make some money. And if it doesn't hit what they're into, and that's part of it, because I think what happens sometimes with these blockbusters is there's not good management of expectations. I think sometimes these individual producers and director teams don't manage expectations well with their studio contacts. They don't say, look, this is probably going to be a modest hit. It's probably, don't let your marketing department get too out of, because that's what happens is the internal department starts getting excited and they start throwing bigger and bigger numbers around, which changes the expectation on a film that never should have had that be the thing. Paul brought up Blue Beetle, and so it's not a big film, so it doesn't have to make as much, and I think, the same for Shazam. The first film was a modest hit. It was definitely a strong hit. It was a small film, made a good return, crowd pleaser, critically enjoyed. So it makes sense that they would continue to make them.
The big one that I was messed up on was the Joker, because I was skeptical about it, and I was like being negative, but it actually was a really good movie, and Joaquin Phoenix just being like this guy that's just has a disorder, and your bones are showing, and people are scared. I've seen interviews where they're like, we're just scared. This guy is just coming with looking like bones, and when you have a guy vested into the character like Heath Ledger or him, I think that people like me that was negative about it turned around and said, man, it's actually a really good movie, and it's out of the universe. I don't know about part 2 with Lady Gaga and the singing thing going on, but I mean, I guess I could be open and see what's going to happen.
I think the first movie was a hit. To be honest, I have not seen it yet. Still, I really don't have any interest in seeing it.
It's actually a really good movie. I mean,
it's just really dark.
Yeah, it's a different one.
And I'm not talking about like dark, like violent, but just like kind of like dark, and so I just, I said,
he gets pushed into that because he's.
I get why and everything. I think it's just, I haven't seen it.
It's nuts in real life. I've heard of that.
There's a huge market for it, and I think it's good that that Todd Phillips saw that, or he's had that vision. And so I mean, I look at it and I'm like, hey, if he wants to make a musical with Lady Gaga.
Well, he had said, the director had said that this is just a one and done movie. He didn't want to do a second one, but I guess they've been pressuring him, and now he said, well, I guess okay, let's.
Well, yeah, because
and I agree with you on the Shazam one. It was comedic, how he usually was, and then how does a kid act as with the power of Shazam? I mean, I think they did really good on that.
Yeah, I mean, Shazam was another good one. So, okay, so let's get back to, or let's get to the so as far as the Henry, did you have anything else, Mr. Collector, on Henry Cavill?
I mean, the only thing is that kind of sucks is that he actually reads the comics and everything. So, for someone that was really, was born to play that part, it just kind of sucks that, now that it's not going to go to him, it's going to go to someone else. And I get why they want to do it. They want to get someone younger. But hopefully they do put him in another film, DC, where they put him.
They said they were going to go like the reporter route. Him is just, I guess, coming into the city and being a reporter.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that one.
James Gunn did come out with some sort of a response saying that it was going to be an earlier time in the life of Superman. And I mean, I get that, because I think what's happened is a lot of us have forgotten that it's been like, 11 years now, 10 or 11 years that even though Henry Cavill was not in that many films, it's been a span of 10 or 11 years. So Cavill is already kind of now like the middle-aged Superman. I mean, he looks great for his age, don't get me wrong, but he's already an older Superman. And then, Ben Affleck is even older than that in terms of like just the character age. So I think for them to be able to tell some of the stories, they probably wanted to, like, for them to have a 10-year plan, you have to, because think about it. I mean, Henry Cavill at 50, well, what is he, like 39 or something? How old is Henry? Y'all know how old Henry Cavill is?
I think he's like, what, 41 or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. How old is he, Mr. Collector?
I'm looking it up right now. He's 39. He's 39. His birthday was on May the 5th. So if he's 39 now and they're talking about a 10-year plan, I mean, dude's going to be 50 playing Superman. And I think they just have to go with somebody younger, because, and also the big side of these deals is that every single one of these actors and filmmakers had a contract, and those contracts escalate regardless of what the profit margin is, the situation at the studio, reboots, regardless of any of that. If they play that character, that contract stays in place. So, I think they were reporting that Gal Gadot was looking at like a $20 or $25 million. It was a lot. Like, it was way more than they'd want to pay to reboot the character. And then Patty Jenkins was on track for like, I think, a $12 to $15 million paycheck for Wonder Woman 3. And then it's like following on work that she did under different creative heads. And then Wonder Woman 84 was terrible.
Yeah.
So, you're following on this. You're following on the heels of a really bad film, which followed a good film, which was under a different architect for the DC universe, which was Zack Snyder. So I think, as much as it sucks from a business / financial standpoint and from a creative standpoint, they really did need to do that. You liked 84? Well, I didn't. And there was so much wrong with that film that it was just, there was a lot wrong with that film. We could do a discussion. Tricky Traps, we'll have to have a discussion sometime on some of the Wonder Woman films, because I loved the first one. I loved the marketing material for the second one, but then when we got into it, it was a little bit kind of all over the place. I felt like Pedro Pascal, for an actor of his caliber, he was massively underused. I liked his performance. Some people didn't, but I liked it. I just felt like he was underutilized.
Oh, Maxwell Lord.
Yeah. I mean, that character, they should have and could have done so much more. And then Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, the CGI Cheetah was terrible. So yeah. Anyway, so I cried. Yeah, I shed a tear too, because I just didn't enjoy that film.
I think DC is like really stepping lightly right now, because they're like, what kind of movies are we gonna make? Are they gonna make any kind of money? We have been like on the back burner for so long. I mean, I don't know what because Swamp Thing was actually a good show from what people have told me, and they just canceled it.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. I don't understand what happened there. Somebody told me it was some kind of a contract dispute or something, but I mean, it just didn't make any sense, because it was. You're right. It was a solid show.
Yeah, people have said that they liked it. They liked it.
Yeah,
real
but
lot.
I mean, still, I shared this, I think, in the top 12 DC characters video. You can, so for like a streaming show budget, you can do so much, right? Like Titan is a decent series, but it will never be as strong as a full-on Titans film, because the budget and the caliber that they're able to work with, it's just so elevated. Like, Nightwing, the Nightwing on Titans, I love him as an actor. I mean, Brenton Thwaites or something. I can't remember his name right offhand, but I love him as an actor. He was great. But when you're talking about a feature film, what they can get away, like just in terms of stunts, like hiring a full acrobatics team to portray Nightwing. I mean, Nightwing is supposed to be the best gymnast in the DC universe, right?
Yep.
And so to have a full team of gymnasts building
flying Gracies,
acrobatic routines, no CGI, all real for real, that's expensive. And then to get a solid young actor in the role, you know, and then really getting a solid, you know, high caliber director, you know, all that stuff, it just takes money, and you've got to be able to, I mean, I think it's worth the short-term sacrifice. But yeah, it's going to mean saying goodbye to a lot of things, including the possibility of a Constantine 2, which I don't know, man. I mean, I guess Keanu can still play that role, but I mean, dude's like 60 something now, I think. Yeah, and the first one was a cult classic. So let's jump to the Patty Jenkins. Unless Mr. Collector or Nerd Amazing, do either of you guys have anything else on the Henry Cavill?
No, I'm good.
No.
What? Really, Nerd Amazing? Wow, I'm speechless.
All right, so here is, I'm going to bring up the Patty Jenkins. I'm going to bring up the Patty Jenkins deal, and I see a couple more people have jumped on. Okay, so here is the Patty Jenkins letter. Wow, that's really small. I don't know how to. Whoops.
I think you can click on it and it'll take you to, and it'll blow it up.
That actually made it smaller. Okay. I guess we'll do. Wow, that's so small. Oh,
He could play the Sentry. Kip.
He could.
Henry Cavill is the Sentry.
All right. So Patty Jenkins, in her letter, she says, "I'm not one to talk about private career matters, but I will not allow inaccuracies to continue. Here are the facts.
Right.
I originally left Rogue Squadron after a long and productive development process when it became clear it couldn't happen soon enough, and I did not want to delay Wonder Woman 3 any further. When I did, Lucasfilm asked me to consider coming back to Rogue Squadron after Wonder Woman 3, which I was honored to do, so I agreed. They made a new deal with me. In fact, I'm still on it, and that project has been in active development ever since. I don't know if it will happen or not. We never do until the development process is complete, but I look forward to its potential ahead." So she's saying that Rogue Squadron is not dead. Then she goes on to say, when there started being backlash about Wonder Woman 3 not happening, the attractive clickbait false story that it was me that killed it or walked away started to spread. This is simply not true. I never walked away. I was open to considering anything asked of me. It was my understanding there was nothing I could do to move anything forward at this time. DC is obviously buried in changes they're having to make, so I understand these decisions are difficult right now. And she goes on to say how much she enjoyed working with everybody and so on and so forth. So, taking a look at that letter, what are you guys' thoughts on, panel? What's your thoughts on the Patty Jenkins letter?
I personally think she's just fed up too with all the rumors going around, and to me, like, the way it sounds, she's frustrated in the beginning, and she's making what really happened, and then she thanked everyone at the end. To me, it kind of sounds like not a farewell letter, but I think she might get to realize that she's not going to be working with DC on another Wonder Woman film. So I take it as she just wants to thank everyone, for all the hard work they did towards the film, and everyone that reached out to her, everyone that saw the film. So, it sucks, but I mean, if that's the route that DC wants to go to, they have the right to do that. And same thing with her. Her main focus was a third Wonder Woman film. So for her to put other projects aside and say, hey, this is my main priority, says how much she was dedicated to that film. So, her trying to just thank everyone. I think it was good that she wrote that to clear everything that is leading up to right now. But hopefully, they do get to keep her on. And if not, if they do reboot it, maybe she can redo it. So, hopefully. Oh, my God. Maybe the later years.
The later years.
But no, that's all I got on that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nerd Amazing, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Patty Jenkins she's bowing out and clearing up rumors when her being in the whole DC universe stuff. Because Gunn's probably changing everything up, trying to figure out how to make something like the Marvel universe with DC. So it's just done for her. I mean, maybe we might see her back with Lucasfilms or any of these other projects that that she probably passed on because she wanted to do the Wonder Woman stuff. Those could reopen up for her. But yeah, I think she's done with DC.
Yeah, I also suspect that she may be done as well with Lucasfilm.
Yeah, it's possible because honestly, I did really like Rogue Squadron. So.
Wait, you what?
I actually did like the Rogue Squadron. So.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, I like the idea of it too. I think different people have said things that that Zack Snyder was a bigger influence on the first Wonder Woman film, and that's why it did so much. But like why it was so much better than the well, subjectively speaking, why it was better than the sequel. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just know that I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman more than I did the second. And I felt like the first one had a stronger storyline and, than the second one. But, there was a lot of cool things about the second one. I thought Kristen Wiig and, Pedro Pascal are just amazing actors. So it was good to see them, in a DC film. So as far as like the Patty Jenkins thing, was there anything in the what do you call it? Was there anything that kind of struck y'all about the about her letter at all?
I just think that that like how you said and a lot of people have said about Wonder Woman 84, I guess she's just trying to clear stuff up about, well, I guess they don't want to go with me because of what turned out in that movie. But I mean, from what her letter is saying, she's just trying to, I think she's like Nerd Mason saying, she's just trying to move on from DC because she knows Wonder Woman's not going to happen with her on the helm.
It almost sounds like Gal Gadot. How do you say her last name? Gal Gadot, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that she's no longer going to be Wonder Woman either.
No, I mean, I don't think. I'll say this: if they cut Henry Cavill loose, then they're absolutely, I think everybody's gone.
Yeah, I think they're gonna stop. I think they're gonna go fresh and new and
I think it's a completely brand new cast that James Gunn will handle himself. I don't even think they're gonna. I know that somebody was trying to put out there that they were gonna fold the Robert Pattinson Batman into, which I think is a horrible idea.
No,
they're gonna completely recast. They're gonna go younger for all of them across the board. They're not gonna have. They might have a couple of Golden Age heroes in there as maybe like mentors or something, but they're gonna go younger for all of them, and they're gonna go. I mean, if they cut Cavill loose, like if they terminated his contract, then Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck and Ezra Miller, they're all gone.
I even heard Jason as Aquaman. I think he's gone too.
Yeah, he's out too.
Yeah. I just hope they don't as they're going to reboot the DC universe. We're going to start with a bunch of origin stories again.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not also, because I mean it would be like Batman. Yeah, Batman. I mean, do you really need to I think most people know his origin, and the same for Superman. So, but I think here's the thing, and this is the thing that I keep holding on to. The same guy who took the Guardians of the Galaxy and made them a blockbuster hit, characters that nobody cared about or knew of.
Nobody
He
cared.
did number 1, he did number 2, he did number 3, he did the holiday special. Then he also did the Suicide Squad, and he did Peacemaker, which is arguably one of the best, if not the best, DC property adaptation.
And a lot of people like that Ratcatcher daughter. A lot of people were telling me they liked that Ratcatcher daughter.
Yeah. She was one of the.
She was supposed to get her own series too, but I don't think that ever happened. But yeah.
Well, I mean, the reality is that I mean, he's knocked it up. I mean, he's knocked it out of the park.
But I think it makes sense if they're aiming for a 10-year plan. I think it makes sense to get young new actors that aren't going to cost as much, and they can use that money towards the films itself and make them as best as possible. But it's a business at the end of the day, like you were saying earlier, Carlos. So it makes sense to start fresh. Cut the cost in half, if not less than that. So, the more money they can save, the more money they can use towards making the films better than they were before.
Yeah. As well as keeping these actors and actresses when this whole reboot in that franchise for 10, 15 years for the development. I mean, how long did it take them to get through phase 1?
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. I think Mr. Collector, Mr. Collector did the math. When was it, Mr. Collector? It was a couple weeks ago, or
I think it was last week. I think.
Yeah, he did the math that the first was it 8 years of the MCU, there was only 17 films, but then in the preceding since 2020, there was the same number of shows and films. Yeah. So they just massively increased the amount of them that they were putting together, which, I mean, I think there is a point when, the quality starts to suffer. And that's why we saw, like we talked about on last week's show, we saw Marvel say, hey, we're going to make a course correction because, they're seeing diminishing returns, and the films are not hitting the same way, and it's because they've got a new show premiering every month, or a new show or film premiering it's just too much. They've got too much going on.
Do you also think that there might be superhero watching fatigue?
Yes. There's absolutely genre fatigue, superhero fatigue, or even Marvel fatigue. There's I think people are just, there's only so many ways you can tell a superhero story, and the hits are getting further and further apart. Spider-Man No Way Home, I think, was almost an accidental thing, because they heard about the multiple Batman in the Flash movie, and that's what triggered them saying, okay, we got to do multiverse, and we got to bring in past actors for the nostalgia and whatever. And they just kind of threw that script together, and it worked. I think there were some problems with the film, but it was really good. It was really good.
There's always been diehard fans of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and now the newer guy. But I mean, everybody just went crazy in the theater when I watched it, when both of those guys showed up.
Yeah. It was awesome.
But when Tobey Maguire showed up, everybody knew who he was. I mean, he wasn't even in the Spider-Man suit, and they were like, he was just out there in his clothes. Andrew Garfield's like, hey, are you going to suit up? And he's like, already ready to go. But everybody knew who he was, and everybody was just clapping, happy to see him again.
Oh yeah. My theater, when I watched it, exploded. They just went nuts.
The problem with Sony is that they I don't know why they can't have Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. Everybody's saying you got Venom, you got this guy, that guy, you got Morbius, but you just don't have the main guy of all the you're gonna have a Sinister Six movie, but with no.
That's Sony's poor decision making. I don't agree with their course of action, and the box office reflects it. Catch 22.
Now they're gonna do Andrew Garfield, and then it's like, what about the new guy? I mean, like you have sole control of him, but Marvel just don't want to let him go, I guess.
Well, Sony, I think, is more kind of the issue. Hey, let's take a look at Ice Cream. What he says: no known actors is cheaper, but no good draw at the box office money. Get a good actor, and money the production budget suffers, and the actor is probably already older. You know what's interesting about what really kicked off the MCU was Robert Downey Jr. was a little bit older than I think they would have chosen if it wasn't him. But the whole Robert Downey Jr.
It was supposed to be Tom Cruise, wasn't it? And he turned it down.
That was years. That was decades before. But the whole backstory the personal backstory for Robert Downey Jr. I think was just too good of a fit for what everybody knows about the history of Iron Man. You know, and his struggles with alcoholism. You know, those two matched up too well. So you can actually tell in the original Iron Man at certain points where they tried to age him down with practical makeup. And so I think in that one, in certain specific cases, yes, a known actor
is not going to stop that.
You know, in certain cases, a known actor is is going to it works. But I think in other cases, but in most cases, if they're starting a new franchise and trying to reboot something, going with a younger, a little bit lesser known actor might be the better way to go. Let's take a look at what Mr. Edwin Price said here. I recommend a new motion picture starring Sergeant Fury, not Samuel Jackson and the Howling Commandos, teamed up with Captain America and Bucky, who stopped the Hister from developing a V3 rocket with an A-bomb. Okay. Edwin Price, I hope you're feeling better, sir.
I think he's still sick. He's been taking his medicine.
I know Wolverine, who was also around, can play a cameo supporting role. That would be kind of interesting to drop Wolverine into the World War II kind of thing.
Yeah, because they're saying he was old enough.
He will get better. Yes, that Spider-Man movie was great. El Green. But yeah, Edwin Price, you get to feeling better. Hey, you know what? It is time for a giveaway. It is we're past the time for it. So let's go ahead and show that. Paul, why don't you show that giveaway one more time?
All right. Got Spawn, Batman, number one. The Jim Lee. Everybody loves his Batman, but he did the Spawn. So this is the Carlos pick. So this is going to be the giveaway for the 50th tonight.
Nice.
And just to say what you have said, they hit it out the park with Robert Downey Jr. I mean, I don't know. He came out of rehab. He was an iffy guy, but he just knocked it out of the park and said.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was perfect for the role.
He was on with what's the guy? Joe Rogan, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him if he would come back as Iron Man, and Robert Downey Jr. asked him, was like, well, do you want me back as Iron Man? He goes, yeah, one day they're going to need you to save the MCU again, and we want you back as Iron Man. I thought that was
multiverse version.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good because he looked kind of choked up when he said it because he was asking, you want me back as Iron Man? He goes, yeah, of course I want you back as Iron Man.
All right, I'm going to drop this in the chat. What you're going to do is if you want to enter to win this Jim Lee variant cover for the Spawn Batman series, you're going to enter to win hashtag Paul Gives Away Comics. That's what you're wanting to do. Hashtag Paul Gives Away Comics. Remember, it has to be.
I just want to say, Tom McFarlane, let's take notes of how Jim Lee did Spawn. Let's take notes, Tom McFarlane, if you're listening up there.
And so we're doing, let's see, that's the hashtag Paul Gives Away. All right. So we're going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and enter that in. Theresa Newell, it's good to see you. Theresa is out this week because she is traveling. Uh-oh.
Merry
That's,
Christmas, everyone. Everybody's been talking about this book.
That book is creepy.
It is cool. And then you got the little Batman toy.
I know.
You know how everybody gets in line to see Santa, and then you finally meet him, they start crying.
I'm entering so I can save him money on shipping. There you go.
So, do you ever think we're ever going to see the next Spawn movie that they keep hinting about for the last several years?
I don't know.
I think if McFarlane will
Jamie
just
Fox.
if McFarlane would unlock the chastity belt and let him do it, but
His weird Spawn movie that he says it's going to be a Spawn movie, but not really show Spawn. I'm like, what?
Wait,
supposed
I
to be
didn't
like
hear that.
scary for adults.
Well, then Fox should
Scary
play
for
Spawn.
adults.
Wow.
And I also want to say, McFarlane, that looks like Spider-Man, man. That looks like Spider-Man, McFarlane.
He got
Yeah,
you to buy it, though.
You got
He
what?
All
says
the
it's still in
same.
development. It's still going forward.
Yup.
You know, this is like what, 2 months ago. I'm just like, okay.
Hey,
Let's go
everybody.
on I have no clue. You know, if I
I'm
want to
surprised that
Jamie
Jamie Foxx-
Spawn is the main deal.
I'm surprised Jamie Foxx is still on board with it after being delayed so long.
But is he really on? I mean, I don't. I'll put. Okay, here's my wager, Mr. Collector. I will wager you $5
Ooh.
that I will wager you five. No. Tell you what, I'll wager you your favorite dollar book versus my favorite dollar book. All right, $1 book for $1 book. I'll wager you that Jamie Foxx never ends up playing Spawn.
Wow, that's pretty big.
I can do that.
Yeah, would you do that?
I'll
Okay.
do that. And I'll even up it if whoever loses has to hang out with Paul for a day.
Brett
Ooh.
Booth.
I'm
Comic
out.
book shopping.
Yep.
Listen, dude.
Oh,
That's-
and they got to pay the meal, and then they got to take me on the comic book shop hunting. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Collector. Put your money where your mouth is, Collector.
For those who don't know, taking Paul to the comic shop is a lot like
That is
taking
cool
a
right
small
here. Ice
child to a
cream
comic
man.
convention.
That's the ice cream
It's
man
not
right
something
there.
that could be recommended, and it generally results in frustration, hair pulling, and that's just
Not
because
at all.
that's
I
just
don't
when you
bother
don't
anybody.
buy
I go
Paul
get the
what you
comics. I don't know what y'all be doing. This
want.
one
Well, I
is
know.
dark.
I know one of the best things is to go comic shopping with Paul, have him come over. Oh no, and then you wait, let him get like kind of in the zone, go flipping through the back issues, and then just go up behind him and grab his stack and take it. Man, I've never seen a man look that violent as when he spins around. You know, he was ready to hurt somebody. And then he saw me and he's like, "Man, why you do that to me?" No. And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to keep you. I'm trying to help your."
I get mistreated on here. I know that. I get mistreated.
Oh, there you go. Loser has to have a romantic dinner with Paul. Candlelight.
Hey, there you go, Green Machine. I got the perfect place for Green Machine.
And take him to Chuck E. Cheese.
What?
He's kicked out of there too.
Kicked out of there. Oh, this is cool. Newsstand.
Get all those.
That's
books.
when she meets up with Wolverine and them.
Yeah, this is when X-23 shows up in the X-Men. Chris Claremont was writing this.
That's a good book. Is there a second print of that one, Paul?
No, there's a newsstand like this one and a direct.
All right. Hey, just a quick note for everybody entering the giveaway. You need to spell it correctly, or the giveaway tool will not pick you up. It is hashtag Paul gives away comics. Gives plurally. So make sure, like Escargot 80, yours will not show up because there's no S.
Laser rubs Paul's Daisy Nubans.
I don't even want to
Don't
know.
read
That
Don't
is.
read that again. Don't, Paul. Do not read that again. All right,
I didn't-
here's the reason Chuck E. Cheese went out of business. Paul was the one pooping in the slide.
What the?
Unconfirmed but believable.
That is unconfirmed.
All right, remember Paul gives away comics. It is not hashtag Paul giveaway comics. Here, take a look at the hashtag one more time. You can re-enter. Escargot 80 years is not going to show up, buddy. So I haven't read it yet. Have you read this? Have you read it yet, Paul? Is it?
I haven't read it. No.
Spawn Batman.
And that just came out this week?
Yep.
Yeah, it just came out this week.
I
had a
comic shop soon then.
the local comic shop had a midnight release of this.
Did y'all go?
Did you go?
No, I didn't go. No. I saw pictures on their Facebook.
There was a
Paul,
lot of
you
people
were-
that
There was a
went.
guy
Were
dressed.
you the one
There was a
that
guy
peed in the
dressed
ball
as
pit?
Spawn and another guy dressed as Batman.
Paul, when you were little, were you the one that peed in the ball pit?
What?
Yeah, they're asking. They want to know.
Oh, that wasn't me. I could control my bladder.
All right.
And now,
So there is an acetate cover.
Nope.
I thought somebody was
Thank
joking.
God for adult diapers.
Which cover is that, Paul? What do you know? What letter it is? Is it like C, D? What do you know?
It says 127. The
Like a
Japanese-
7?
Yeah, it says 127. So it'd probably be like the
Jeez.
7th one, I guess.
Golly. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and drop an inline right now because it's been about enough time. And we're going to go ahead and run our giveaway tool here. Thank you for everybody who's watching. Make sure and hit that like button if you don't mind, because that will help get the algorithm kicking. It'll help people see that we are here.
It's 699 cover.
As always, your subscribing to the channel is much appreciated. That helps the channel grow. It helps us get bigger and bigger on the giveaways. And we'll here we go. Yeah, and that's always a good thing for the channel to grow. All right, here's the giveaway tool.
Ooh.
We're gonna go ahead and start collecting comments. Hashtag Paul gives away comics. We have 18 entries. Yeah, you're right, El Green. It's probably F or G. JT, I think JT is shy about entering because of the drubbing that he got last week, but that's okay. He'll be fine. Let's see. Oh yeah, Theresa Newell. She just sent one that she has. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet one. Who is that did that one?
What?
Theresa Newell sent me a copy of hers, the cover that she picked out. I can't. It looks kind of like Dan Mora, but I don't think it is. Okay, we're gonna go and do the draw in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There it is. Uh-oh. It's getting close, and
Car Shop. Wow.
Card Shop Reality.
Louisiana.
Congratulations, Card Shop Reality. I think Card Shop Reality hasn't won something in a while. Congratulations to you, buddy. This copy of Spawn Batman #1, the Jim Lee variant, which we think is like F or G, is yours right here. Here, let's see, Paul. There you go. He just wrote your name on it. Congratulations, buddy. Glad that you picked this up. For those who haven't picked it up yet, make sure and visit your LCS because, we want to keep these brick and mortar stores going. The good ones, not the bad ones. If they price at the register, don't give them your business because that's lazy comic shop owners. But everybody else, by all means, support them. I'm looking at, man, there are a ton of covers for this one.
There's a ton of them.
Golly, how many of them did you buy?
I only bought 4.
Oh, okay. Wow.
The other ones I showed you are from the different titles. Like the one was the Noctera, the other one was from
Yeah, I want
Ice
to get that.
Cream Man.
Okay, Theresa Newell. Theresa Newell showed me the George Jimenez cover.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Is that a ratio, Paul?
No, I don't think it. The Brett Booth, and then there's one that it's a black and white, the 1 in 25. Then they have like the McFarlane Capullo ones that are up there, 1 in 100,000, 1 in
Yeah, it's like 1 in 1,000.
1 in 1,000, 1 in 2,
Wow.
1 in 250, 1 in 500. Yeah, they get up there.
Wasn't the 1 in 1,000 signed by McFarlane?
I think the 1 in 1,000 was signed by Capullo and McFarlane, and it was like a side.
There's two. I think there's a black and white and there's another one.
She's saying that the one she sent me was the acetate cover.
Acetate.
Sorry. Okay.
No,
All right. It looks cool, Theresa. Next time you're on the show, you need to show it off. And let us take a look at it. But cool. All right. Well, hey, congratulations to our winner for the night. Real quick, let's hit the. Okay, so one last news story, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. The Patty Jenkins severance package rumors. Many of you guys heard of that? That was not in the original. That was not in our original lineup of headlines to go over. So that is kind of a last minute addition because somebody asked about it.
I haven't heard anything about that one.
No, I didn't hear that either.
It's relatively new. It just started breaking earlier today that Kathleen Kennedy had been offered a severance package and that she had they'd come to terms.
Oh, the Star Wars?
Yeah, the head of Lucasfilm.
Right.
So she'll exit about 2 months or so after, like in the following month or two after the release of Indiana Jones 5, she will most likely exit. They will call it a retirement, and her severance will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 million. But the interesting thing about that is that it's going to, what I've heard is that it's largely going to be made up of Disney stock options rather than just cash. So that's interesting. Now I don't know if that's true, but the number, the 25 million number, sounds about right. For her golden parachute, for that kind of a position and the time in, she has, I know in fandom she's, we've talked about this before on the show. I think Mr. Collector, a couple weeks ago, but she's divided fandom a little bit, but I try to take the good with the bad, for every episode 8. Like what was it, Last Jedi, the second one that had the Rian Johnson one that had a lot of people upset. That was it, right? The Last Jedi. Yeah. But for every one of those, you what?
Skywalker, the Rise of Skywalker, that one.
No, that was the third one. But the second one was really divisive amongst fandom. But I think for everyone like that, you have to look at, okay, she was the head of Lucasfilm, and The Mandalorian got made. And that's arguably some of the best Star Wars that we've seen in quite some time. She was also the head when Rogue One got made, and that was one of the best Star Wars films ever made.
It's pretty good because everybody dies at the end. You see the Death Star, and then you're dying, and it's like, whoa, what the hell just happened?
Well, hopefully everybody here has seen Rogue One. I'm sure everybody has.
Yeah,
Bob just summed it up.
If you haven't yet,
what about you said The Mandalorian? What about Obi-Wan? A lot of people liked Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan was good. I don't think it didn't hit my Star Wars spot as good.
Really getting drugged by Darth Vader. I was like, he's just dragging him through the fire. It's like he remembers everything he did to him. I was like,
that fight.
Wow, you are just
the final fight. The final fight when the Darth Vader helmet is torn open and you're hearing both voices go back and forth, and that dialogue, yes, that made up for every other shortcoming in the series. However, I still feel like The Mandalorian was some of the best Star Wars television we've seen. And Andor, if you
like
haven't
the little
watched,
baby, you like the little baby Yoda.
No. If you haven't watched Andor, okay, don't get me started, but that show is amazing. It is some of the best Star Wars, period.
Hey man, don't tell the story.
I would not be shocked if that doesn't win some awards.
It needs to. It needs to win some major
Big
Emmy
time
awards.
ones.
I mean, that show is on par with like The West Wing,
Yeah.
House of Cards. Yeah, I
What?
mean, The Wire.
Storytelling is awesome.
It is. It's a fantastic show. So if you haven't watched Andor yet, do yourself a favor and go watch it because it's incredible. It's very well done. Just an excellent show, and I think it's some of the best Star. And here's the fun fact about it: Andor, the entire first season, you never see a lightsaber. I think there's only 2 mentions of the Force. You don't see any Skywalkers. You don't it didn't need any other characters to be that good. Like it didn't need any throwbacks to the main series to be that good. It was just fantastic. Yeah, El Green, that's exactly it. It was a great show by itself. It just happened to be set in the Star Wars universe, and which it boggles my mind that it's not doing better. I hope it gets a second season, but again, we've talked about business is business.
Yeah,
all right, hey guys, let's bring it in for a landing. Let's do final thoughts and shout outs. I'm gonna let Mr. Collector start because Adam, I'm still gonna try to get that graphic and post it when you do yours.
Yeah,
so Mr. Collector, final thoughts and shout outs.
First, I just want to say thank you again for having me on, and congratulations again on the 50th episode. Make sure everyone like the button, smash the like button before y'all head out. But no, it's been great having me on, and everyone else that came out tonight. So I just want to say thank you again, Carlos, and congratulations.
Oh yeah, cool. Thank you. All right, let me go to Paul next, and Paul. Final thoughts and shout outs.
Congratulations to Mr. Card Shop. Good guy from Louisiana. Me and him talk about wrestling all the time. And thank you, Nerd Amazing, for showing up tonight. Great insight and professionalism. That's what we need on here. You see what I have to work with. But thank you, Mr. Collector. I don't know what you were doing, but thank you again for whatever that was. And thank you to Carlos for the 50th show. Wow, we're already at 50 for the giveaway show, and like you said, hit the like button, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday again. Yep. Appreciate y'all coming to see us tonight, and we'll be back next week.
Awesome. All right, let's take it to Nerd Amazing. Adam, I don't have that. It's not showing up.
Oh man, I apologize. No, I apologize. I'm mad right now. I understand.
No, it's always, again, it's a pleasure to always be part of the show. It's great that you invited me to come. I love being able to be here once a month, showcasing a toy or some kind of cool collectible. I love Paul's antics and the thunder he might steal from somebody from time to time. But no, it's like congratulations on the show, the 50th giveaway. It's awesome, and it was just great time chatting with everyone.
Awesome.
Here on the show. For those in the comments.
Awesome. Hey, Nerd Amazing, do you want to show just a quick sneak peek of what your next video is going to be?
Yes, I'm still working on this video. And because it's the holidays and Christmas is just around the corner, you can't have a Nerd Amazing episode without having a Santa Claus action figure.
Wow.
And this is from the creators of the Mythic Legion line, Four Horsemen Studios. And we have a wonderful Santa Claus figure. He is really awesome. It's part of their Figure Obscura line, if I'm saying that right. Wow. So they just released this 2 weeks ago. It just got shipped to me about 2 days ago. So he's got a lot of great stuff. So you'll be seeing this episode hopefully next week. So
nice. Wow. So, hey, y'all make sure and subscribe to the channel. It's just, isn't it just youtube.com/c/nerdmazing?
Yeah. I mean, you'll know you're at the right spot when you see my logo right there. So just Nerd Amazing. Just type that in on the search bar. You'll find me there. I also have, depending upon if you're on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, there's a great Nerd Amazing community there on social where I post other stuff, just pictures of collectibles, action figures that I find around. So
awesome.
Yep.
And like I said, folks, I've told y'all before that Adam's got some of the best production quality I've seen for review videos in quite some time. Really, really nice stuff. He does a really good job of reviewing it. So y'all make sure and check that out. Starscream 69, I see you just came out of the movie Deadly Night. If that's the one with David Harbour as the action hero Santa, that thing looks crazy. It looks hilarious.
This is more of a classical Santa.
Right, yeah.
No, that's a different film, actually. There's another one that came out.
Oh, okay. So are there two of them?
Yeah, there's two different ones that just came out.
I need to look it up because I want to. Yeah, that's interesting to me.
Or catch Nerd Amazing at a show near you.
The what?
I said catch Nerd Amazing at a show near you. That's where I saw him.
Yeah, you saw me. We met live at NerdCon.
Right.
Oh yeah. You guys were both there together.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys. So hey, thank y'all so much for watching tonight and for hanging out with us. It has been a joy as always. Especially cool to celebrate 50 episodes with y'all. Man, how much fun has this been for 50 episodes to be able to hang out, to give out cool books to cool people, and just continue to promote generosity in the community, which is what this is. Make sure and check out, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so before you leave, because it does nothing but help the channel and help us grow. Remember that we do have a weekly schedule. We also, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, have brand new surveys that go live on under the community tab of the channel. Now, real quick, here's something I want to tell you about. I didn't plan on mentioning this, so I'm pulling it up right now as we speak. But the latest survey that we had was probably one of my favorite, and only 28 people have voted. So if you're watching and you haven't voted on this, you need to go ahead and do it. It is, if Paul were in a dunk tank, how much would you be willing to pay per throw?
Hell no. What kind of damn... Wait a minute. What kind of survey is this?
39%, almost half of the people that voted, the 28 people that voted, said there is no price I wouldn't pay to see Paul get dunked.
Yeah, there you go.
The other options were $1, $5, $10, and $20. No, Paul, that means that it's an unlimited budget to see you get dunked.
What?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Can this episode really happen?
Votes. If you haven't voted yet, make sure you go and do so now.
What is wrong with people?
It does make a difference in the future of the show. And
what is wrong with people?
Exploders, though?
Oh yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm glad he commented. 4 Pete Sake, or no, it wasn't 4 Pete Sake. It was El Green Machine. El Green Machine, you won. I threw out last week. Monday I threw out anybody that could pick out which character was not in the video, the top 12 DC video that was in the graphic, and El Green Machine beat 4 Pete Sake by 3 minutes. So El Green Machine, I've got a special book I'm going to...
There it is, the Teen Titans #2 right there. That's a nice book.
No. El Green, I think I'm going to give you a copy of Blue Beetle Graduation Day #1, but I don't have it opened up. Yeah, I do. All right, so
Green Machine said he'll take that Optimus Prime up there on the top shelf, please.
Okay, I think it.
Green Machine wants the Optimus Prime on the top shelf, please, sir. And it matches your shirt. Holy crap, it matches your shirt.
Yeah, so we're gonna I'm gonna give you a copy. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna send you a copy of Blue Beetle Graduation Day #1. Okay, El Green. That's gonna be your prize for the picking that flash out of Okay. Yeah, and some of you have no idea what I'm talking about because you weren't watching on Monday, and that's okay. But El Green, congratulations on that win as well. Hey, so for everybody else that was watching, make sure, like I was saying, you make sure and check out this top 12 list for the DC Comics characters that you should be watching right now. As you see, Flash is on this graphic, and he's on the thumbnail for the video, but he is not in the actual video, and I threw that in there just to have a little bit of fun. See if anybody was paying attention, and El Green was. So make sure and watch it. I'm very proud of the video and how it turned out because there's a lot of good information in it, a lot of cool collecting tips and books to be keeping an eye out for. As always, make sure and keep collecting those comics. Thank you all for making this channel what it is, because without each and every one of you, this channel would not be anything really. It would just be, a guy sitting in a room talking to himself. And as always, a big thank you to the panelists that give up their time and just come and hang out and talk with us. And a big thanks above all to Paul, because he really does put up with a lot. Even though we put up with a lot, he puts up with a lot. So we just love him and we think he's great. And we're glad that he's feeling better. Edwin Price, buddy, we're pulling for you and hoping that you get to feeling better, and for all those who are not feeling well as well. I'm going to say a quick prayer for y'all. I've started to do this a little bit more often. It's just something I like to do. And so I'm going to say a quick prayer, and then we're going to go and sign off. God, I just pray for those who are sick or ailing or recovering right now. I just pray for healing for them. I pray for good spirits and positivity headed their way during this time of the year. I know that that Christmas is a time of celebration, but it can also be a time that reminds us of pain and loss and loneliness. And so, God, I just pray for those who might experience any of that. I pray that you would brighten their day, show them something, let them open a comic book that brightens their spirit and brings a smile to their face. And I just thank you so much for each and every person that's here, and I pray for blessings for each and every one of them. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Guys, thanks for watching tonight. As always, so much fun to hang out with y'all. I'm going to, we're going to go ahead and wrap it out. But thanks to everybody who is here in the panel and hanging out, and we have enjoyed spending the night with you. We will see you next time.